Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into building wealth decade by decade. If you've ever felt like you're too young, or maybe you're too old, or just way behind on your financial journey, well, this one's for you. Okay, so let's just jump right into this because it's such a powerful idea. The whole point is that nagging feeling, that anxiety you might have about your age and where you are financially, it's usually misplaced. It's not about when you start, it's about what game you're playing. So we're going to break down the exact financial level you should be on decade by decade. The whole idea here is to swap out any confusion with a really clear, actionable strategy that plays to your strengths at every single stage of life. First up, level 1, your 20s. Look, at this stage, your one massive advantage, your superpower, is just raw energy. The goal here isn't just about making money. No, it's about turning that energy into a rock-solid foundation of skills that's going to pay dividends for the rest of your career. To put it really simply, your 20s are for building you. Yeah, you're trading time for a paycheck, of course, but the real play, the smart move, is to reinvest that money and your free time into getting ridiculously good at something valuable. So, really clear 3-step process to channel all that energy into something powerful. It's all about focus, and it's designed to make you incredibly valuable fast. Let's dig in. Okay, step 1. Pick one single high-value meta skill. Just think of a meta skill as a force multiplier. It's like learning to read. Once you can learn anything. It's the same here. Learning to code teaches you systems thinking. Learning sales teaches you persuasion. These are the skills that make everything else you ever do way more effective. And the key here, and this is so important, is intense focus. Forget about diversifying your skills right now. Pick one thing and just become obsessed with it. Use your 5 to 9, those hours outside your day job, to just go all in. And yeah, a huge part of this is being willing to work for free. Now, I know how that sounds, but this isn't about getting exploited. It's a strategic move to get real-world experience and build a portfolio when you have nothing to show yet. And then you get to step 3, the price ladder. Once you've got the skill and a small portfolio, you start charging. But you don't just pick a price and stick with it. The rule is super simple. For every 5 clients you successfully help, you raise your rate by 25%. It's a system, a repeatable way to build your income and, just as importantly, your confidence. This quote just perfectly captures the mindset for your 20s, doesn't it? This is the decade to take big swings, to embrace failure. You've got the energy to bounce back and the time to learn from it. The point is, winners don't somehow avoid failure. They just try more stuff, which means they also fail more. Every single failure is just data for your next shot. All right, so you've built that foundation in your 20s. What happens next? You level up. You're now playing level 2, and your advantage completely shifts from pure energy to strategy. You're taking all those lessons from the wins and the losses and using that wisdom to build systems. Okay, this is probably the biggest mindset shift in the entire playbook. The goal is no longer to be the one doing all the work. It's to become the architect of a machine, a business, a team, a process that can make money without you having to be there every second of the day. This is how you get real leverage. So how do you actually do that? Well, the first tool in your new toolbox is the ATF framework. It's a super simple way to get back your most valuable asset, your time. You audit your calendar. Where is my time actually going? You transfer all the low-value stuff that drains you to someone else. And then you fill that newfound free time with the high-leverage stuff that actually grows the business. The second tool is what he calls the replacement ladder. This is literally the strategic order for building your team to buy back your life. You start with an executive assistant to get you out of your inbox. Then you hire for delivery, so you're not creating more work for yourself every time you make a sale. Then a marketer to get leads. And finally, a salesperson to close them. And the third piece of the puzzle for your 30s is FOCUS. Follow one course until successful. This is your secret weapon against shiny object syndrome. In your 30s, you become absolutely lethal by committing to one business model, one niche, and one type of customer for at least 3 years. Just remember, every time you say no to some new distraction, it's a powerful yes to your main goal. All right, now we hit the 40s, which brings us to level 3. Your advantage isn't raw energy anymore, and it's not even just early strategy. Now it's a deep, deep well of experience. You've got the relationships, you can spot the patterns, you've got the know-how. This is the decade where you scale your wealth like never before. At this stage, your job completely transforms. You have to fire yourself from being the operator and promote yourself to being the strategist. You're not the one pushing the levers anymore. You're the one directing capital and resources, letting your money and your systems do all the heavy lifting for you. So where do you put that capital? Suggests this 70-20-10 portfolio approach, and it's brilliant. You put 70%, the vast majority, into what you know best, your core expertise, where you have a massive advantage. 20% goes into related, adjacent opportunities, and only 10% is for those high-risk, high-reward moonshots. And beyond your own portfolio, you can scale your impact in two really cool ways. First, you can become a mentor investor, basically trading your hard-won experience for a piece of the next generation's companies. Second, you compound your wisdom. You turn your life lessons into frameworks and systems that can help other people get where you are, but faster. And finally, that brings us to what calls the level that matters most. This is where the entire game, the entire focus, just completely changes. It's about moving beyond just creating personal wealth. This final level is all about this profound shift in your mindset. It's from accumulation to impact. As you can see, the focus literally flips. It goes from trying to get richer yourself to trying to make others richer, from seeing money as the goal to seeing it as a tool, and from building your own personal wealth to building up the next generation. And this quote just brings it all home, doesn't it? It reveals the ultimate purpose of playing all these levels in the first place. The wealth, the systems, the skills. They were all just part of a bigger process. The real prize was never the bank account. It was the person you had to become to build it and the capacity that gives you to actually make a difference. So as we wrap this up, this is really the final question to leave you with. As you think about which level you're playing right now, maybe consider that the ultimate definition of winning isn't what you thought it was. Perhaps it's not just about what you can get, but about what you can ultimately give back.